There we go.
Greetings.
I know, right? The effort this took to actually get set up is crazy.
People don't appreciate
No, they don't.
the effort that goes into it.
No. It took way too long. We were supposed to... I wanted to start half an hour ago. Hello there. Welcome to the channel. Today I am joined by...
Fantastic, Mr. Pink.
So this could be the first, could be the last of whatever this is. I haven't even decided what it is yet. I know that I wanted to talk about a film in this one, but really I kind of want to just have people on and just sit down and talk.
Fair.
I think this could be a good opportunity to do something creative.
Yeah.
Something different.
Well, you're a film guy. You're an actor. You're.
Yeah, I put the effort on. Might as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got this equipment that he's used.
I know. Like as I was saying, it just sits in a cupboard.
Like me, he keeps me in a cupboard as well. Just
Pretty much, yeah.
rolls me out.
Yeah.
Servicing.
Yeah, it's a big cupboard though, because he's like tall.
I'm a tall guy. Yeah. Fair.
It's that thing, like, when I came up with the idea for doing this, I spent so long thinking about, what could it be? Can I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And I wasn't doing anything in the meantime. I was like, you know what, just try something. So, today, we are going to be watching a film. I used to watch this film when I was younger. I was way too young to watch it, and it used to scare the crap out of me. And I'm eager to see if it holds up. You know how it is with these films. Like, we were talking about this earlier. Like, things like, I used to love Mac and Me until I watched it recently, and I'm like, this is not a good film.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, today we're going to be watching The First Power.
I have never seen it.
No, you've never seen
it? Lou Diamond Phillips is one of these ubiquitous guys that was about, and you knew who he was, but he's done so many films that I just haven't seen, and I was trying to remember what the first film I probably saw him in was, and I can't quite do it. It probably was something like Young Guns.
Yeah, I think it was probably Young Guns. No, I know exactly the first film that was for me. It was La Bamba.
Yeah, I know I've seen La Bamba, but I don't remember it. It's so like a lot of those films, when we had like 4 channels on TV.
Yes.
Showing our age here.
The day.
But when you had like 4 channels on TV, you would see these films now and again, and they'd show up. My brother loved things like Young Guns and all that, so I saw those more often. Yeah, I always remember my mum had like VHSs, like videos like of films that she loved, and she always had one that was like Dirty Dancing followed by Calamity Jane. And my sister loved Calamity Jane, so we used to always have to fast forward Dirty Dancing to sit and watch.
That's the best way to watch Dirty Dancing. Fast forward and past it.
Let's get it through. Yeah. My mum loved. Well, she liked Dirty Dancing when I was younger, but.
No, I've enjoyed it. I mock it, but I do enjoy it a little bit.
It's iconic.
Yeah, it's Patrick Swayze. I mean, come on,
exactly.
It's one of those things like all these guys that were like the heartthrobs of your mums when you were a kid. You never liked films. Oh, Lou Diamond Phillips was exactly one of those actors.
Young boy back in the day.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me, like, because he was always cast as like Native American, and like, he's not Native American. He's actually, I think, from the Philippines. Well, he's not from the Philippines, but his heritage is from the Philippines.
You got away with casting like these sort of mixed race looking people in like various different roles, and he was like one of those. He could pass for Asian, he could pass for Filipino, could pass for whatever, and they cast a Native American.
So we're watching The First Power. It's directed by Robert Resnikoff. That's an interesting name. I've never heard of him.
No, I think I tried to look him up just there, and I totally have forgotten what it is. He's done I think he did like this and 2 other things, and that was the last the world seems to have seen of him.
No, he just showed up, scared the crap out of me as a child, and left. And I like the artwork on this DVD as well, but this one in particular, at the back you can see the alternate artwork at the bottom, which is a lot scarier.
Oh yeah. Now, the bad guy in it, Jeff Kober.
Yes.
I fucking love that man.
He is brilliant.
He is also someone who is like
everywhere.
Ubiquitous. From my youth, certainly. I mean, he's been in everything, like Buffy. He was in Buffy loads. Yeah. Charmed, I think he showed up in an episode of that. 2
separate characters in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
3, I think, maybe.
Was it 3?
Well, maybe.
I only remember him. He was the vampire when Buffy the Watcher
Yeah,
Council
no, that's right.
took
I think,
rid of,
yeah, maybe
got rid
one or
of
two.
Buffy's powers, and then she had to fight him. And then he was Wrath.
Yeah, he was the kind of witchy character that helped Willow in seasons.
But yeah, he just pops up in everything. He was also in Sons of Anarchy, but probably the most
That's probably the most
notable
recent thing I've seen him.
recent thing is him getting his neck bit out by Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead.
Oh, he's in Walking Dead, wasn't he? I haven't watched Walking Dead, but
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He is. He's very good. And I'm surprised we don't see him.
yeah.
In a lot
I think this
watching.
is the only major, well, not major, but I can try to remember any feature films I've seen him in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can name any off the top of my head, but he's in every TV show I watched growing up.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to see him on screen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him as the main bad guy in a film.
So did you watch the trailer for the film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want
think?
to watch it again? Or?
We could do. We'll watch it.
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
Let's get set up and watch it then.
Since the beginning of time, Satan has worked to create the perfect killer. The first power.
It's so cheesy. I love it.
I
It's
missed that, man. They bring that guy back. That's
yeah, they've not narrated a trailer for years.
Nah.
And it was just so vintage.
so. We'll see you guys after the film.
A few moments later.
So, First Power. What do you think about it?
The first power. What can I say about that? I mean, that was wild. It defies classification in a lot of ways. I would have sold that to people as in the same way that you would have done selling the first time people would ever seen Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not a horror, and it's not quite a slasher,
Yeah.
and it's not quite a cop movie,
Yeah.
and it's not quite a supernatural. I mean,
Yeah.
it is supernatural.
It's not quite all those things, but it is all of those things. It's little pieces of each.
Yeah.
So it's it doesn't commit to one genre.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to be different genres.
Yeah, I just I can't imagine trying to sort of sell it. But then it was the 90s. People were not afraid to take chances on movies.
Yeah.
People weren't afraid to put a film out there, write a story, and put a film out there that it feels like now. You get for instance, one season of something on Netflix and then they cancel it. I don't know. Things don't get the chance to kind of grow and just be and be out there. Studios won't make films that are a bit weird. And
Nobody's taking risks.
yeah. And it's really hard to get the audience in for them now. Whereas I feel then things were just a bit more mad. I mean, it was an action film. Even things I guess Big Trouble in Little China has some supernatural elements, in which I forgot until I rewatched it a lot more recently. It's really in that class of films, I think, those kind of films back then.
Yeah. It was interesting for me watching it because, like I say, I haven't watched it since I was a kid. Because I remember it being a scary film to me.
Right.
And it wasn't a scary film watching it now.
Yeah,
So I'm
no,
a
definitely.
grown man. I don't get scared of films. But I could see why I found certain parts uneasy when I was younger.
I don't think I would have found it scary when I was a kid because, my brother had me watching The Thing and Child's Play and, even something like The Lost Boys
Oh, Lost Boys,
has a
yes.
bit more...
Oh yeah, no, I'll definitely
horror-y
agree with you.
things.
They were all I was just I think it was just that made me uneasy.
It's quite adult, I guess. It's not an 18 by any stretch, but it's... But it is a sort of serial killer, and it's kind of there's murder, and they're not sort of shy about it.
Yeah.
It's not the most brutal thing I've ever seen.
I thought they were quite creative about it though as well. I mean, obviously, it was the limitations of the time it was made. It was released in 1990, so
Yeah.
it was.
It didn't feel cheap.
No, it didn't feel cheap at all.
Yeah.
No. I think I said that during the cinematography and.
It's actually really well shot. Yeah.
It was really well shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, even when it came to things like stunts and the practical effects and everything like that, I loved the fact that it was
Yeah.
Even though you could see the stunt doubles at times.
That one time where he's like,
Yeah, when he punched
where it's
through.
like Jeff Kober in the jail getting executed,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to him breaking out, punching through the glass,
Yeah.
and instead of it just being him
Yeah.
punching through, which was what was clearly just like sugar glass
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, they cut to some random guy, and
Yeah.
it looked nothing like him. It was like all those fucking things back in the day where they just didn't even like the stunt double was like nothing like people,
I know.
and it was him. All it was him punching through the glass. I don't get why they couldn't have
I
just
know.
got the main guy doing that.
I
That
know,
was
yeah.
so funny. And then it cuts back,
Yeah.
and it's suddenly back to the main actor again.
I remember watching that on VHS, and it was noticeable in VHS as well. Not as noticeable as watching it on DVD, because
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
it's been remastered.
Yeah, later on you pointed out there when someone else comes through the glass. In one shot, we were looking through just clear glass, and then when it cut to the scene where she's about to jump through it, it was like completely different glass.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
you could tell.
All these things like you didn't notice in like watching it on VHS. But that one shot that I was really impressed with was the part where he jumps off the side
Yeah.
of the building. That looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even look like it was someone just on wires.
No,
Like,
no,
it didn't look like there was, the bunching up of the trousers
Yeah.
or the thing. But they must have clearly just been on like a...
Some sort of harness.
Yeah, like a... What do you... I've totally
Like a
forgotten
bungee or
words.
something like that.
Yeah. Like when you do like abseiling.
Yeah.
Stuff, it feels
But I
like
mean,
wires.
even at the part where like he kind of landed on the ground or he hit the ground, like most films, they cut away at that point,
Yeah.
and then you just see him running away. Whereas they actually showed him landing,
Yeah.
which I thought was really well done.
Yeah, it was really well shot. So I mean, the film is about this serial killer has been killing loads of people in Los Angeles, and you've got Lou Diamond Phillips.
That's beautiful hair.
With his luscious, sexy locks. He's the detective charged with finding him, and the film really just jumps straight into it. Like at the start, there's no, I said to you, at the opening sort of few scenes, that feels like I've come into the movie in like the second act.
Could they have fleshed out the detail before the whole build up to him being caught?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to make it now, it'd probably be put into a mini series or something.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's called The First Power, and they don't really mention that till a good 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Yeah.
And suddenly they just drop it on you.
Yeah, and that's when they talk about what the first power actually is. Not to mention the opening credits as well. That's the first time I noticed that. It comes up.
excruciating.
Well, it was very long, yeah. But it was they come up with the actors' names at the start. Got Lou Diamond Phillips, and it says the first power, and then it's the rest of the actors, and then after the very long credits, it comes up the first power.
Yeah.
So it's like a reminder. Oh yeah, you're watching the first power.
Yeah, I've told you that twice already.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was great. Like Lou Diamond Phillips' performance was great. Like, playing the sort of grizzled LA detective. I can do what I want.
Yeah, when he was in our house. And
It's like, I'm pretty sure you can.
notice there was no emotional reaction to his friend dying though.
Oh yeah, like actually we don't even know if he died.
Yeah, we just assumed
he
he
got
died.
like hit by a horse, which was another sort of
That was an impressive
really good
fact.
effect. Like you literally, there was a stuntman literally shoulder barged by a horse.
Oh, yeah.
Out of that scene, and then the horse is stamping on him, and then he's just like, call an ambulance, and then we never hear from them again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that guy died.
I know.
I don't know if he survived.
They don't even make reference to it again.
Nah, they
actually.
just
It's weird.
forget about him entirely. Yeah, your partner. So, they catch the killer quite quickly. It's not really about that, I guess, at first. And then he...
Yeah, that's just kind of the thing that starts the story.
And then he quickly comes back from the dead and starts killing people again.
Yeah, by possessing people that are vulnerable, like alcoholics, drug users.
They obviously go into like his motivation a little bit, but I feel like there wasn't much. Maybe they were coming off the back of the whole satanic panic thing of the 80s and stuff, where there's all that occult stuff going on. So they were like, he just happens to be this Satanist. I wasn't really buying or understanding where all that was coming from. Even when they gave you his
origin,
like his actual origin and his kind of explanation for why he was a serial killer. The whole idea is that God or Satan can gift people with these powers.
And he just kind of found somebody that's just pure evil.
Yeah, and he just seems to, he's as the trailer said, he's only motivated by killing.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to kill for the sake of killing. I was like, I don't know if I really...
It's interesting though, actually saying about it, you could probably, if you were to remake this now, you could probably write a really fleshed out character with that kind of origin.
Yeah, probably. I mean, bear in mind as well that nowadays it would probably have an extra hour on it, on its runtime, you know what I mean? I do miss an hour and 40 movies. Like, there's not that many anymore. Yeah. Or it would be at least 2 hours, so maybe an extra 20 minutes on the runtime.
That's what I was saying, like, honestly, it'd probably be a mini-series or an actual series. But yeah, no, I still enjoy the film.
Yeah, it's solid. It rattles along. It's this good action scenes. I mean, at times it was like at the end there when it was like it came to kind of natural conclusion or whatever, they were about to sort of save the day, and then it was like, no, let's just have another punch up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know how many times he got like the bad guy kicked him in the nuts. It was like every two. This man is not having any more
he's not having kids, man.
He's done. He's just done. It's like bam,
his testicle
right in the Lou Diamond dick. Every time.
Yeah, so score out of 5. What would you think?
Well, hold on. Like, before I get to that, I forgot to talk about the nun character, right? Like, she's just Sister Marguerite, and like, and the mechanism of his like possession is like he can reveal himself to people, or he can like hide in their bodies. So like, when he wants to show himself to the detective, he's like, he shows up as the bad guy, and they have a fight, and they just have no regard
for
at
the
this
body
point for the actual body he's possessing. It's like,
that's probably why they made that jump to just show him at the end. People, at the end of the day, it would just be Lou Diamond Phillips kicking the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, the climax is insane. They're in a water treatment plant, and then suddenly they're in like, I mean, I don't know what they do at water treatment plants, but suddenly there's this vat of acid. Like, is this what we treat water with? I have no idea. But suddenly there's a vat of acid, and he's like, time to take an acid bath. And then they punt him in, and then suddenly, I don't know, this acid is also flammable. He just uses his lighter, drops it in, and boom. And you know, when he's revealing himself to people, he just shows himself as himself. He steps out of this flaming fireball, like on fire, and it's just... And for some reason, the ghost body is burnt up. But when it cuts back to Sister Marguerite in her habit or nun-habit, she's perfectly fine.
She's just got this little burn here.
She's got a little singe mark here, but her habit is completely perfect. Yeah,
because God saved it.
Yeah, God must have saved it. Yeah, but then let's also not forget the fucking the knife, the holy relic. She spent all the film like trying to convince the priests that she's like, that something evil is going on, that Satan is at work here, and they're like, know your place, bitch. Get back to your convent.
And she does it.
Yeah, she does it. But then she comes out and she's like, I'm not going to stand for this anymore.
That's it.
And she steals this holy relic, and it's like, to steal a holy relic?
How dare you?
She's like, well, it needs to be used, right? And he's like, oh, okay, I'll pray for you. And then but then she, instead of going to help them, she immediately goes back to her cell and sits and waits. I don't know what she was doing.
Did she?
They had to go and fetch her. And he's like, I don't care about the priests. You're going to come help us. And she agrees.
That's crazy, actually. I never pieced that together.
And then she brings out the holy relic, which is like, it's basically a crucifix. And I'm just like, okay, it's like, maybe it's like stained with the blood of Christ. Well, it couldn't be that, because obviously it's a crucifix of Christ on the clock, but maybe it was like, maybe it belonged to a saint or something. Maybe it's got some supernatural powers.
Yeah, maybe just because it's attached to a crucifix.
Yeah, right. It's just like, we need to use this power, and then she just out comes. It's just a concealed knife in the shape of a cross.
It's the most dramatic way as well.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's just a holy shank. We're just going to holy shank this guy.
That's how they roll in the convent.
Yeah. So I was looking to the end, and like she tries to kill herself with it, and then Jeff Huber takes over. And spoilers here, by the way. I'm sorry, but then.
Oh no, we're going full spoilers in this one.
But then she like, he goes to stab her at the end with it, and then suddenly also it's like huge. I don't know what happened there. It was just like this huge crucifix, but it's just a holy shank.
So what do you think of acting? What do you think?
Oh, everyone was on point. Like there was no. It didn't feel like really cheesy or anything.
No,
Like,
that's
I
it.
mean, it's notorious.
That's the danger of those like films in the 90s as well. Like
Yeah.
they can be very cheesy.
Yeah, I think if I don't know.
I mean, it's not going to be winning any awards or anything like that.
Sure,
but
I think if you do it with sincerity, I think it works.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a notorious method actor, and he Lou Diamond Phillips anyway.
is he? I didn't
I think
know that.
so. I may be thinking of Daniel Day-Lewis. I mix these guys up.
absolutely
Right? I mix all these guys up, right? These three borrowed names. There's Daniel Day-Lewis,
Oh, yeah.
there's Lou Diamond Phillips, and there's Daniel Day Kim as well, just to confuse
All
things out,
three
right?
of them look completely
They are completely unrelated, but I always mixed them up in my head when I was young. I was like, oh yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis, that's that Asian guy, right? No, that's Daniel Day Kim. Oh, right, he's the one that was in. Oh no, that's Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, so
Yeah, who could forget Lou Diamond Phillips' turn as Abraham Lincoln?
exactly. Yeah, he could do it.
And you know
he
what?
could do
If it was the 90s, absolutely, he'd
that
get
man
cast.
could pull it off.
He gets cast in everything.
But no, like everyone was on point. Jeff Kober was typically sinister.
Yeah, I liked him though. He was menacing.
Yeah,
like he was
yeah.
very good, and I think it's his voice as well. You know when he's like, "Let's see you around, buddy." But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
even that just kind of.
He's got that sort of.
And then,
drawl.
oh god, speaking of acting, sorry, I forgot about the homeless woman. She was going for it.
She was like, I might never act again.
Yeah, she was
This might
like,
be my only part, and she was loving it. Every second of it, she milked it.
Oh
It was
yeah,
absolutely crazy.
And I was there for it.
The bag lady.
That brings me back to the other point I was talking about the practical effects. How I really liked how obviously it was the 90s, so they were limited in what they could do. But I think films suffer because they don't have that now. With this film, like they had the actress kind of hanging from the ceiling
Yep.
and dropping down on top of them, and that was nice. Like it was nice to see that because even though it's a ridiculous thing you're seeing, it grounds it a little bit to see that it's an actual person that they've got doing it.
Yeah, it was all well made. Like the stunts were solid, the car chases, the actions, the fights. I mean, it was really good. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like and it's a short movie. But I think my favourite stunt that was pulled off was when they were fighting on like the scaffolding or whatever, and Jeff Kroger just decided to do a random backflip somersault just to kick Daniel Day-Lewis. Just oh my, here I go. Just to kick Lou Diamond Phillips on the face. I wish I'd learned the characters' names. That would have helped. Logan. That was it. Yeah. But no, it was a soft film. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't know how it passed me by in the first place.
It is one of those films. Like I describe it as an underrated gem.
He didn't spend a lot of time actually killing.
No. But it's like after he died, his sole focus was to
Wind up Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if he'd just gone off and started a killing spree again. They could have done more to, I think, like push the making him think he was mad or something.
Yeah. Like to get that paranoia aspect going.
But yeah, so I think they could have pushed more of the supernatural stuff. They could have pushed more of the cult stuff. They could have pushed more of his motivation. And
Yeah, well, they hinted like there was a string of serial, like he was going around committing these crimes, and you had people that were kind of not worshipping him, but I guess idolising him. They referenced that at the start in I think the detectives were talking about it, or the news was talking about it. But they never touched it. Like I mean, even then they could have went into the whole storyline of it's not like homeless people, drunks and alcoholics he's possessing members of his cult. So, score out of 5, what would you give it?
5 out of 7.
5 out of 7.
Yeah, like I don't know if I can give it more than a 3 or a 4, but it's definitely maybe like a 3.5, 4, more than a. It's like it's enjoyable. It's solid. It's really well made. But yeah, it's not blowing me away. It's not.
It's a good film like to put on for like movie night or something like that.
Yeah, total mindless.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely reminiscent of the films of the time. And, just entertaining.
Yeah.
So yeah, solid, like, I'll go with 4. Go on.
4? Okay.
3.5, 4.
Yeah, no, I think I'm on the same page as well. Like I loved it growing up, so like it would have been like a 4.5 for me. But I think after watching it now, it's probably around 3.5 to 4 for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like a solid 7 out of 10. You know, like
7 out of 10.
right. That's. I mean, these days a 7 out of 10 is a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah, I base a lot of the films I watch. I base off the score on IMDb, and if it's got above like 6.5, I'll be like, this must be a good film.
Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to like really knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's where I stand. Bring on the next one.
Yeah. We'll see what the next one will be.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining me on today.
I'll have to do it.
I really actually have enjoyed doing this, and I want to do it again.
Well, I'm always up for it.
Yeah? Yeah, but you up for doing this as well? Inappropriate dad humour.
Way.
Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe, because I would like to make more of these. If you'd like to see me make more of these, I'm going to need that support.
Ending these is always
It's always awkward.
It's always awkward, yeah.
It's just like, what do I say? Like, they just let it fade off into the darkness, and it's just like...
Just like the first power, we will be back.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.